Hello guys, we are doing the third part of our series of Graphmapper. We're going to model Skyscraper by SOM, and we will use the same techniques similar to what we did in the previous lesson, but we're going to do some mirroring commands as well as array on curve commands. I've done a Rhino workshop tutorial on the curve array command, and you can see the strategies that I'll use to get this geometry and get the spirit of this design. So let's get to work. Okay, let's start a new file. I'm going to hit Control N. I am going to put my units in large objects feet. I'm going to make a new definition. Now, one of the things I usually like to do when I make when I do a model is that I like to place some of these images into the Grasshopper, the Rhino interface. So all it is simply just taking whatever JPEG I have and just dragging it into the Rhino Rhino file, and I can just sort of use this as a guide in terms of how I want to start modeling. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're gonna first make a rectangle, because our geometries are all going to be based on this rectangle. So let me put the rectangle. I want to put my construct domain. Oops, not that. Let me put my bifocals. Expression editor, negative x divided by 2. Expression editor, x divided by 2. I'm going to get a slider. I'm going to get the max 100 feet. So I'm going to make the x and the y the same thing. So let me make it 98 feet. So I want to extrude this geometry, and I want to extrude it in such a way that I have an understanding of how many stories I want to place. In the other Graphmapper lectures, I was using the series command to basically make the plates, but this is going to be a little bit different. So I want to make sure that I have 44 stories in this building. But if I move this 44, it's just moving this in 45 feet. So I'm going to go to multiplication. And I want each deck-to-deck height to be 12 feet. So this is going to be my overall height of my rectangle. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to divide this portion by a certain amount of units, and then from this portion I'm going to start to draw my line. I'll project more lines onto it and then use the evaluate curve command to start building my my Graphmapper. Okay, so let me go to divide by distance, divide length. Oops. Oh, I have to go to my brep explode. Deconstruct brep. Edges, 12 edges. So list item. So it's that edge. Oops. Okay, so let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. Okay, I have it. So divide distance. One and divided by, let's see what happens when I do 20. Okay. Let me make this 100. Okay, so let me take list item. Let me take, I want to start with this item right here. I will do align SDL, start, direction, and I'm just going to take this because that is the entire length. I'm going to divide the curve, slider, make the max 30. We divide it 24 times. I'm going to do align SDL, but this time in the Y direction. So I'll start Y. Let me increase this to 56, or let me go 60. Let's see. Oops, actually I want this to go to X direction. And I want this to go the opposite direction, negative X. I'm also gonna going to have it, oops, I'm gonna go to my expression editor. And then maybe I'll go, so let me see how these are grouped. These are, I'm gonna go to join. Okay, now I'm going to go to evaluate curve. I am going to reparameterize it, and we've gone over this on several tutorials, what that does. List length, so we have 25 items. I'm going to go to the range component, the steps, so then I do use my expression editor, x minus 1. Let me get the Graphmapper. Graph type. This will be a sign. I'm going to interpolate. So I can see it. So it is going, you know what, I am going to remove this, so let me just go here. Yeah, that's better. Let me just remove this because I want my starting pillar to start here. Let me just hide this so I can see better how I can get my curve to match this. I think this is a better image to refer to. So you can see it's bulging here, bulging here, bulging there. So I need to create more bulges. Okay, I'm kind of getting there. I want to make sure that my point ends here, so it's looking pretty good. So now you can see we're going to have to rotate this. So I'm going to rotate off of this point, rotate. So the plane will be YZ, I believe. I want to make this into degrees. Let me get a slider. Let me make the maximum 45. We're going to take this length. Okay, it's not the YZ, maybe it's XZ. I'm going to click on the string. Is it XY? Let me try that. Yeah, it's XY. So I want to see in plan. Yeah, I want to give it a little bit of a bulge. And I kind of want to have it, I want to have this element closer to the middle, so I am going to just move. Let me see how it's. So then let me mirror this to see how it looks. So let me go to, okay, I have this. So let me, I have this curve. I have this rotated element. Let me mirror. Let me go to curve, middle, mirror. Oops. I'm just going to go to mirror geometry. So this is the midpoint. I think it would be XY, but we'll see. This is, okay, it's not XY, maybe it's XZ. No, maybe it's Y. It's probably, it's YZ. Okay. Okay, let me pipe these elements. Okay. Yeah, it's getting there. Okay, so then let me increase the pipe slider. I'll keep it at round. I need to go to 5. So probably 1.9. I'm going to group these because now I have this line and this line. I can loft this. This can be the curtain wall. So I have this. I'm going to group this, and you'll see what I'm going to do. So I want to array these elements. That's going to be the first thing. So I'm going back to here. I'm going to get the bottom edge of this. So I'm going to go back to my brep. So let me just copy, hitting Alt. So I have this element. Let me see. Oops. Okay, we have this element. Seven. Okay, that's that element. Okay, so we have all the sides. So let me join these curves because this is going to be the curve that our elements are going to array on. Yep. So I have this element, so I'm going to go to array curve. So this is the geometry, this is the curve, and the count. Let's see, let's go to 3. Let's go to 4. Okay, so this is not working, but we can use another strategy. Why don't we take this cube, let's cap this, okay, and then let's go to the brep explode. Deconstruct brep. Let's take one of the faces on the top. Slider. Now there's 12 faces. Okay, so I want to go to area. I'm going to go to circle. Now let me okay. So we have this column. So obviously this doesn't work, so I can just erase that. We have this condition here. So I want to just copy this. I'll just go to this geometry. And then let me just start hiding things. And then the next thing I want to do is I have these curves. I want to group these curves because I want to also want to rotate them. So curve array. Okay, and then I want to loft them, so let's go geometry. Let me Let me flatten. Whoops, nope, I don't want to do that. Let me flatten this. You know what? I do not want to make this into a group because I want to analyze these curves. So I'm going to just make it merge them. So these are the curves. So I want to rotate them as well. Okay. Okay, there are 8 curves. So I want to start lofting the in-between pieces. So let me start hiding everything. So I'm going to go to list item. I'm going to So there are 8 items, so the maximum is 7. Okay. Okay, so let me loft these 2 items. Okay, so that I need to loft the remainder 3. Oops. Okay, and then I want to get this item. Okay, so loft. Okay, now I have these items left, so let me copy this. So, okay, next thing. Okay, I'm gonna loft these items again. Okay, I have this item. I'll do this item again. Okay, so I'm missing this item. I thought I had it. Oh, okay. Oh, this picture is making it. Okay, so I have the geometry. I think. Let me see. Is that too close? No. So now I want to split this into an object. So I want to make these lofted elements. I want to do the brep join because I'm going to start to deconstruct it. So let me go to brep join. I'm going to take all these lofted elements. And then I'm also going to take these lofted elements as well. Let me flatten everything prior to. Okay, now I'm going to go to bounding box. Content. I want to split this, so let's go to brep explode, deconstruct brep. I want to take one of these edges and divide it. So list item. So there are 12 edges. So the maximum is 11. So, okay, so then I want to divide it. So I know that I've divided it into 44 pieces. Let me see. You just see the distance between each floor is 12 feet. Let's just make sure. I'm going to just take the first point and second point. Okay, line. I want to see what the length is, just to see what I have to do, if I have to do anything. I'm going to take the param. Okay, so the length of deck to deck is 12 feet, so that's good. I'm going to go to my vector component, plane normal, brep plane, because I want to split this geometry. So I'm going to go to, oops, not that. Okay, so now I have all those geometries split. I'm going to extrude each of these down to 6 inches. I'm going to go to my expression editor, -x. Let me go 0.5. Oh, whoops, I didn't put the comma 0.5. I want to cap it. So I have my slabs. So let me start hiding everything. I have, let me start hiding this. This is the glass. Okay, so this is the pipes. So let me start doing my swatch preview, custom preview. I know I can hide all this stuff. I know that this brep join are all the structures. And then I know that these are the slabs. Let me change the color. Let me change let me change it. And then, actually no, let me change this to green. And let me change this into more of a blue. So it looks kind of like a curtain wall. And then let me change the transparency. Oops, I think it's too transparent. Okay, so there you have it. So we constructed a skyscraper by SOM using the Graphmapper tool, and then we simply took our elements and arrayed them on a curve to get this geometry. Thank you very much.